in the afternoon sun in San Francisco. Those two jerseys, NFC Championship game, cannot wait.
Good stuff. All right, more on that in just a second, but time now for us to go viral. Conor McGregor is getting ready for his UFC fight against Cowboy Cerrone tomorrow. But the stare gets me. But McGregor took some time out of his day to talk to former wideout Chad Johnson about his famous Ocho Cinco nickname.
Ocho Cinco? That's a good name, Ocho Cinco.
It was my jersey number. And I got it.
Ocho Cinco was your jersey?
Yeah, 85.
All right,
So it said Johnson, but the NFL, they fined me 1 year for playing around. I changed the name on the back before the game started. And the next day, they fined me like 40 grand. And I appealed the fine, because I got to wear it. They didn't do it. So in the off season, I changed my name to Ocho Cinco, and they had to put it on.
Johnson's not bad. All Bill Johnson.
All marketing, just marketing.
Yeah, good man. Fair play. Good luck. Thank you. Appreciate that, really.
I'm no Conor McGregor. I'm not a big Conor McGregor fan. I love Chad Johnson. I love him. He has so much fun. He is so interactive with fans of his, like whether from his playing days or now. He seems to really be enjoying his post-playing life. I really like his reinvention, because at the end of his career, still a few dark times, if you will. His post-career reinvention's been awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's there for all the smoke on Twitter, too.
Oh, yeah.
He loves Twitter, but I don't know a player in NFL history that has gone through such lengths to be recognized by their nickname than Chad Ocho Cinco. The guy actually went out there and changed his name to Ocho Cinco.
Just so he could see it on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, well, no, I like it, but had he played by him, good marketing move. At one point, he thought he was going to be in the Hall of Fame. Probably not going to be in the Hall of Fame, but a hell of a career. I like him.
Time now for stories to start your morning, sponsored by Sprint. Switch today. So yesterday, Nick, an arrest warrant was issued for Odell Beckham in response to a video showing OBJ slapping the backside of a stadium security guard. Should I use a different word?
No, it's just funny every time I see it.
This following video of OBJ handing out cash to LSU players. Nick, you're laughing. What'd you make of the latest development with OBJ?
Okay. All right, listen. So I've spent a lot of time and cachet, if you will, defending Odell. And yes, obviously, nobody likes this security guard. Everybody knows, had an encounter with it's not a police officer, this is a security guard.
Yeah.
And he's hassling championship players for indoor smoking laws. So, but you've got to set that part aside. Odell, I defended you, man, on the handing out the money, and I will still defend you on the handing out the money. But all the other videos that have now come out of how you were acting at this championship game are not really that defensible, and this is just idiotic. Now, do I think it's arrestable? I guess in Louisiana it is, but you can't act like the security guard just kicked a game-winning field goal and slap him on the butt. You can't. You've got, and Canty, here's the part, and I tell this when I see him. You're the grown-up in the room, and of all the people in that locker room, all the 18 to 22-year-olds, you're the one acting the most a fool. That's not good. It's not a good look, and it puts your buddy Nick Wright in a terrible spot, because I spent all day yesterday saying, oh, you know, he didn't get arrested like Julian Edelman, and the moment I get off the show, Odell's been arrested for smacking the butt of a security guard. So
that's why you really have an issue with it, though.
Because he really put me in a bad way.
He's put me in a bad spot. Exactly. But listen, man, I think this is much ado about nothing. Everybody knows that Odell's behavior is unacceptable. He shouldn't have slapped the security officer on the backside. But does it rise to the level where you really need to issue an arrest warrant?
When I thought it was a cop,
that part bothers me.
When the initial reports were it was a police officer, then you put your hand on a cop in any way, you're going to get arrested.
Sure.
So a rent-a-cop,
On to the Dallas Cowboys now. The newly hired Mike McCarthy.
He's hassling these guys. They're smoking cigars. Joe Burrow's allowed to smoke a cigar in peace.
It's a fire hazard, you guys.
Oh, it's a fire hazard.
Retained offensive coordinator Kellen Moore will continue to call plays next season. That, according to Mike McCarthy. Dallas led the NFL in yards in 2019. Canty, you like this for the Cowboys? Kellen Moore still calling plays?
No, I don't like it, Jenna, because I feel like this is the owner, Jerry Jones, overstepping once again. You got a new head coach, but it's the same old Jerry. In fact, you know Mike McCarthy would probably prefer to have the opportunity to call plays, but Kellen Moore was retained on the staff, and the fact that he's going to be the play caller, to me, this has Jerry Jones' fingerprints all over it. And again, you can't undermine your head coach, especially when you're a team that has championship aspirations.
I agree with you, it has Jerry Jones' fingerprints written all over it. But don't you think this came up in the interview process? Don't you think Mike McCarthy took the job knowing that this was a prerequisite? Because I do. I don't think he sprung it on him at the end. And if that is the case, then McCarthy signed up for it. So I can't take big issue with it.
Well, whether McCarthy signed up for it or not, the result is the same. I don't care about it. I mean, if Mike McCarthy wants to call plays and you think that he's the guy to take your team to a Super Bowl, then give him the autonomy to handle his staff the way that he wants.
I think Jerry thinks Kellen's his next Jason Garrett.
Chiefs hosting the Titans. So these two offenses have been doing what they do best in the playoffs so far. Mahomes lighting the Texans up through the air. Derrick Henry running through every opponent. However, the Titans are still heavy underdogs in this one. So, Nick, what has to happen for the Titans to win this game?
Okay, I think this is, to me, this is the best way to phrase this question. Because, obviously, I don't think the Titans will win. I think they are... I think the accurate line on this game should be about 13.5. I think the Chiefs are going to win by multiple scores. If they don't, if the Titans have won this football game, and I won't be here Monday, but somebody will be sitting in this seat explaining how it happens. Here's what happens. You win the turnover battle by at least 3. They won the turnover battle by the Ravens by 3, technically, de facto 5, though, because it was 3 turnovers to 0 plus 2 fourth-down stops. So you had 5 times. You had multiple short fields. 3 of their 4 touchdowns came when they got the ball on the plus side of the 50-yard line where you didn't have to go the full field. Chris Jones, the Chiefs' best defensive player, doesn't play. And that opens things up for Derrick Henry. And yes, Derrick Henry continues his run, but I don't think that's enough, Canty. I think Ryan Tannehill has to have an extraordinary game. I don't think they can beat the Chiefs the way they beat the Patriots and the Ravens, where Tannehill throws for 7.5 completions per game. I think it has to be that Ryan Tannehill, who finished this year with the league's best passer rating, with the best yards per attempt. A.J. Brown became a superstar rookie. Jonnu Smith became an underrated tight end. I think all of those things have to happen for them to pull off this upset. I do not think they can win this game 24-21. One time in Patrick Mahomes' entire career, the Chiefs haven't scored at least 23 points. It was the game against Indy back early in the season. If the Titans win, it's going to be because they get into the 30s. To me, that's the only path. That means not only does Derrick Henry have to be great, Tannehill has to be sensational as well.
Yeah, if they get into the 30s scoring, then you got to anticipate a score on defense or special teams. That's got to be factored in as a part of the equation as well. But yeah, Derrick Henry has to have a phenomenal game, and the Titans have to play complementary football. The ball being able to capitalize and score 7 rather than settling for 3. And that's exactly what they did against the Baltimore Ravens. All 28 points came off of turnovers, whether it's takeaways or turnovers on down. So to me, that has to be Tennessee's formula for success. We've seen them do it in the past, so it's not like they can't do it. It's not like it's outside of the realm of possibility. I think the big challenge for the Kansas City Chiefs is being able to starve the Tennessee Titans as far as giving the football away. Turnovers come in bunches. We say the same thing about sacks, but turnovers come in bunches. Sometimes you get on a streak where you get a bunch of them, but then sometimes you don't get any. And I think that the Chiefs, if they're going to have a chance to be able to finish this off and advance to the Super Bowl like we all anticipate them doing, they can't turn the football over.
Listen, you make such a good point. Let's not forget when they went into that Ravens game, we thought the Ravens were going to score a ton of points, and if they did, that Ravens defense was going to stop or slow them down. They would have to do something other than just keep handing the ball off to Derrick Henry, coming off what they did in the Patriots game, and they somehow found a way to disrupt exactly what the Ravens wanted to do and who the Ravens were. Why can't they do it again?
Because the Ravens are not built the way Kansas City is. The Ravens were not built to take advantage of Tennessee's biggest weakness, which is their secondary and their ability to defend deep down the field. And so you cannot beat the Chiefs by scoring 28 points. Now, right now, Chiefs scored 28 points in 9 minutes against the Houston Texans. Like, so that if the question is, what has to happen? The Titans have to find their way to 35 points. Their field goal kicker, who amazingly has not kicked a field goal this season for them, they've only made 8 field goals as a team all year, has to have another game where he attempts no field goals. Every time they cross the 40, they're going to have to cash those in for touchdowns. This has to be a game of 7s, as their playoff games have been. I don't think they can do it. but that is the path for them if they are to do it.
For my sanity, for our relationship, I'm rooting hard for the Chiefs.
Oh, okay, that's great. I'm excited for that. The whole world should be rooting hard for the Chiefs. It's the best Super Bowl.
Public.
You want to see Mahomes in the Super Bowl, America.
Who's going to be in
Come
Miami
on.
for Super Bowl 54?
Come
That's
on.
still ahead on First Things First.
I hate that I got to be on the same side as Nick Jenner.
Oh, look.
I know, it's not bad.
Look at the quarterback pyramid. Look at Patrick.